Hey guys, my name is Jake, and I'm here with Todd, who is the Director of Economic Development for the Shasta Economic Development Center.
Really close, Jake.
Did I mess
My
it
name
up?
is Todd. I am the Director of Entrepreneurial Development
What did I say?
with the Economic Development Corporation, Shasta EDC.
Okay,
Really close.
it's a really long title.
Yes.
So last week, Todd, you went to the Economic Forecast Conference here in Reading?
Yeah. Yesterday, actually last Thursday was a big day.
Mhm.
We had first in the morning the 19th annual Economic Forecast Conference, which was hosted by the Center for Economic Development, which is housed in Chico State University. So there are dozens of economic development groups in the North State that are housed through Chico, Humboldt, ourselves that are a public-private partnership, lots of college ones and a few private ones as well. And we kind of all got together to hear from a great economist out of Sonoma State named Dr. Robert Eiler to give us a little bit of a forecast, talk about some trends last year, and talk about some trends that we're going to see moving into the next 5 to 10 years.
I've heard Dr. Eiler speak before. He's really good.
Yes.
What were some of the highlights that he mentioned in this conference that you might want to talk about today?
Yeah, so I'd say one of the things that he touched on is something that I think a lot of people are starting to think about is a potential recession that might be coming our way. And so what he did was look at a lot of trends over the last 20 years and the last couple of recessions that we've had in our country and try to forecast when that might happen, what some of those trends might be. He said if there was a recession, which is likely coming, it'll be towards the end of 2020, but it's forecasted to be smaller based on some of the debt load that the country holds and some of the personal debt and housing prices and a lot of different factors. And in Shasta County actually has actually been growing the fastest. It's the fastest growing and rising economic for economic indexes in the North State over the last 5 years, and that's going to continue to grow for the next couple of years. And I think we're a little bit insulated from some of those national and global trends that happen, and some of the things that we've been working on, focusing on, and some of the stability in our housing stock and prices, even with the fire.
That's great.
Has helped us out.
Yeah, you kind of touched on something really quickly that I just want to kind of ask the question about. Did he mention, or was it a subject at all? I mean, we went through some terrible fires last year. What, if any, effect will that have on the economic forecast? Or was that even a topic?
It was a topic, and he didn't really dive into what's happening down in Paradise quite as much because it's just still so fresh. But here in Reading and Shasta County specifically, there is already been nearly $100 million of investment that has come in the community through insurance, through FEMA. A lot of that money is coming through. Local contractors are getting work. There is a workforce shortage, and that's happening everywhere in the country. Talent is the biggest hindrance and barrier to economic growth in any county, really.
Yeah.
Especially up here. But with all that investment that's coming in, I think we just need to manage that and make sure that we can continue coming out of this disaster and continue to grow, because it really, so far what they've seen is it hasn't really taken a huge dip, just because a lot of that's insurance and FEMA kind of came back in pretty quickly.
Okay. And Todd, you also had your own talk. You were on one of the panels.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell us what were you talking about at the conference?
Yeah, so I was on the last panel of the day. There were 3 panels total, and mine was about passing the torch and just talking about the next generation of young professionals, which we have here in Reading and in Shasta County, and it also covered some of the other counties that the CED focuses on, which is really anywhere north of kind of the Yuba City, Marysville area, all the way north to the Oregon border. So some young professionals from Chico and from Orland, and then 2 from Reading. And we just talked about why we're here, what it's going to take for us to stay here, and kind of what that passing the torch looks like in terms of, young people getting on boards, being involved. I can say the circles I run in, there's hundreds of us younger professionals that are involved in a lot of stuff. And I think we're already seeing that torch start to get passed with a lot of the cool stuff that's going on downtown and with the chamber and with the EDC, even with the startup community. And I think one of the themes that really wrapped up most of the day, and including this day, is just the age of collaboration we're in, and that, you know, people need to work together. We are working together. My generation wants to continue doing that even more. And I think that's what makes our community so special, and what's going to continue to help our community grow and stay special.
Okay. And if you had to say one thing to some of those young entrepreneurs, some of the young professionals here in Reading, maybe some pragmatic advice, what would that be?
To people here in Reading, I think most of us see it, but just realize the amazing amenities that we do have with quality of life, low commute times. You know, one of the things that we all talked about on our panel was we've all lived in bigger cities, most of us that were on the panel, including myself. And, you know, I don't have the luxury of maybe making my kids soccer practice on a Monday night because I'd be stuck in a commute, or even coming home for lunch from time to time. You know, that's something that my generation, I think, wants more and more. They want work-life balance. They want to be with their kids and family. And in this age of collaboration and the internet and all these things, you can really make your career and make your life anywhere you want it with all the technology that's available to us.
Yeah, awesome. Well, what else? Is there anything else you want to cover today?
I do want to highlight really quick, because I think it ties in with what the conference was on Thursday. That evening, the Reading Chamber of Commerce hosted the Reading City Identity Project event, which rolled out the first 10 ideas that are going to get funded this year out of 20 ideas to help make Reading a more enjoyable place to live. So really about like culture, arts, less about economic development, incentives, and things that I work on. But it was an amazing event. We had two speakers. The first one was John O'Leary, who was burned when he was 9, and just has an amazing inspirational story about his life and where he's come and what he learned from that, and really challenged us as a community to appreciate where we live and all the beauty that we have around us, and sticking together so we can, you know, continue to come out of this disaster, because it's kind of a curve, and there's lots of ups and downs that we're going to go through over the next few years. But John was really inspirational. And then we had a speaker by the name of Jeremy Affeldt, who is a 3-time World Series champion with the San Francisco Giants, left-handed pitcher. He retired a couple years ago. He had a very long career in Major League Baseball. He's an amazing player. And he really talked about what it looked like when he came to the Giants. I believe it was in 2008 or 2009, before they got to the World Series, and how they were the misfits. And they really assembled as a team, and they had all these crazy personalities and crazy talents. They didn't have the highest salaries out of all of Major League Baseball. It was kind of a little bit of a money ball situation like the Oakland A's used to have. And they just maximized what they had, worked the best together as a team, and went on to win 3 World Series in a time span of 4 years, 2010, 2012, and 2014. So he was really inspiring. Gave Jake Mangus, who's the president of the Chamber of Commerce, a signed 2014 World Series ball. And if you know Jake, Giants is, he might love the Giants almost as much as he loves Reading.
Wow.
So it was really inspirational, really amazing. And then they announced 10 ideas on what we're going to do to what cool stuff can happen in Reading. So the first idea was an umbrella alley. So have some cool alley, probably something downtown with a lot of the redevelopments going on that's just colorful and interesting, and provides some shade in the heat and some cover on rainy days like today. One of the big projects was to revitalize the amphitheater down by the river, by the Sundial Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And add some more sound and lighting and possible seatings and amenities, and clear a bunch of the brush, because it's right on the Sacramento River. Yeah. But it's covered in all kinds of brush. So clear it up and make it beautiful. A lot of public art ideas, and just things, because public art and placemaking, all that stuff helps us with our economic development. You know, we have people coming in from all over the world to Reading every single day.
Yeah.
And if they find it an enjoyable place to be, and there's amenities and great breweries and great coffee roasters and beautiful places to be and see, it all helps us recruit and retain talents and people, and continue to have a great place to live.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was really, really fun, really inspiring events. Go to readingcityidentityproject.org. You can see those 10 ideas. And there's 2 weeks left to submit an idea, because there's going to be 10 more ideas funded.
Okay.
And I think those will be announced most likely at the end of next month.
Awesome. Well, good deal.
It was a good day. Good Thursday in January.
Yeah, a couple of cool events. So that all being said, we're going to be trying to make these videos about once every 2 weeks for the Shasta EDC. So stay tuned to see what's going to be upcoming, some of the special events that are going to be going on in Shasta County. So thank you, Todd, for tuning us into those things. Is there anything else you want to share before we sign off?
I think that's it. So just stay involved and stay connected to us and the chamber and everybody else, and we're making cool things happen in Shasta County.
Cool. Well, thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Jake.
We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Thank you.